Hello, welcome to this video. I'm gonna, can you see that? I'm gonna show you how to sort the fire out. I've already cleaned the glass. So, I've got a bucket here. It's getting a bit full actually. Oh, look at that. Oh, they could still burn. Oh, they could still burn. Some of that's okay. It doesn't really need cleaning out, does it? Some of that still burns. Right, come on, get on with this. Just get the worst of it. Right, I'll do that. You're lighting this without. Are you watching? Are you watching? Right, turn that down. Right, so put these seem to fit perfectly. I don't know if that's. They must have measured your average, wood burner. So they sort of fit like that. So put this in there. So the plan is to do this without firelighters. I think it needs a bit more. Sonny, come back. Right, put that down there, and that down there, that down there, and then we'll use this. This is an old picture, so it's been recycled. It's creating warmth. This is actually really dry. This stuff should go. Well. I'll do it. Right, so we've got that turned up. Right, let's see. This should go. Are you still watching? This should go. This is the one that needs the gas. It's fucking laying it there. Oh. So this one, the one that needs the gas. This should work. No firelighters. Right. Yes, that should work. Right, you watching? Is it going? Watch this. Is it going? Is it going? So smooth. Right, watch that. God, we could do with getting some more sticks on there actually. We could actually get. We'll use one of these sort of big ones. Oh. I mean, you can use paper and stuff just to get the thing going. Don't start phoning the police or anything. Or the Green Communists. that's going to go. It's looking a bit iffy. That tissue's not really up to it. Be better if I'd got paper, like, but I don't buy papers, that's one problem. So I don't actually buy papers. You're also going to get quite a lot of smoke when you're like lighting it, like outside. It really does need a firelighter, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It does need a firelighter. Well, no, we're promising not to use a firelighter. That's what we're doing with this. We're not using firelighters. We're not using firelighter. Don't let that fall out. Don't! This is the worst video on YouTube. Right, is it going now? Oh, see the smoke. You really want it to like get going and then start burning, you know, you don't really want smouldering too much, it annoys the neighbours and stuff. I was just going to say Heather's narcissistic numpty neighbour. My pal Heather. Everybody's got a pal called Heather. No, not everybody doesn't. Right, is that it? Is it going? There's not really much of a channel update today, there's not much going on. Not really. God, it's quite slow, isn't it? It's because I'm not using paper, I think. I need paper. So there's a good video by Kenny Weiss last night. It's one that I've seen before, and it was one about how to deal with narcissists. And so when so you could say, well, what's a narcissist? Well, I'm obviously a victim to narcissists, or I'm a potential victim. I have been like that throughout most of my life. They seem to prey on me, and that's because might be that I'm either was a codependent or still am a codependent. So I'm working on that. I'm trying not to be a codependent, but so I try to conduct myself in my life without taking advantage of other people, sort of thing, and go around doing things that are legitimate and fair and reasonable, and to make my life better in a reasonable way. So narcissists don't do that, and they don't. So you've got to identify who is a narcissist. So that's what I do now. Is like, it's just a question of are they or aren't they. So I have two. Let's just say, well, obviously I've got exes and stuff like that. Let's leave that out of it now. But I've got two people who have been engaging in narcissistic gameplay with me over the last couple of years. And so what Kenny Weiss like when I watch Kenny Weiss, that's a reminder. He's reminding me of, so I've got my own support network, but it's quite a small one, but somebody who helps me with dealing with people like that. So the reality is that I wasn't brought up properly, and I didn't learn how to deal with that sort of thing. I had to work it out for myself, and there I was a victim for quite a long time. But so what it is when they want you to do something or ask you to do something, you just say, "Let me think about that." And I actually did that with one of the narcissists. and he still went. This is Heather's narcissistic numpty neighbour. He still went along. Oh, look at that. He still went along and did what he wanted anyway. It was something that I think he's a bit like the government. This guy, he asks what I think, what if he can do. So he doesn't ask what I think. He asks if he can do something, then he does it anyway. So what I said to him was, "Oh, let me think about it. I don't know." And he went and did it anyway, right? So what you say to them is, "Let me think about that." If they want you, it depends what it is. So in this situation, the thing that he did was something he could do, but it was stepping on my toes, so to speak. So it was on my property, right? The thing that he did. So he went and did it anyway. But the thing that he did is one of these things where it doesn't really matter that much. Not really, you know. Although it's something I wouldn't do. But that's because that's the sort of thing he would do, because he's also got a narcissistic personality disorder. It's not really his fault. He's got a narcissistic personality disorder, and he doesn't know. And his nearest and dearest won't. They'll sort of live with it, or they might have it as well. You know, so it's like he's not going to know, and he doesn't need to know. So why do they not need to know? Well, because their way works. You know, it's. The rest of the world is wrong, they're right. So the other one is this person that I knew years ago, and she's moving in on me, and I try to keep her back, and I went against my better judgment, and I started talking to her a couple of times, and then I realised last week, what the fuck are you doing? Don't talk to that bastard. So what you do is, so Kenny Weiss, for the main part of the video was, you say, let me think about that, and then when they say the one, let's just say the one you to give them a lift somewhere in their car or something, your car. They want you to take them somewhere, or I don't know, or a loan of your car or chainsaw. They want to borrow your chainsaw. Let me think about that. Then they come back. Oh, have you thought about it? Well, it doesn't work for me. That's the next phase. You know. So basically, it's about. I think the whole thing is about boundaries and doing things in an equitable fashion, you know, conducting yourself in an equitable manner, and they don't do that because they've got a narcissistic personality disorder. Obviously, they're not going to do that, are they? Because that's why they have got a narcissistic personality disorder. It doesn't mean that everybody that ever does something that doesn't suit you has got a narcissistic personality disorder. It doesn't mean that at all. So you just need to identify these people, and you've also got to identify your own actions, and that you've got to be accountable. Oh wait a minute, I've maybe instigated a certain situation with them because I haven't been assertive, or I've said the wrong things, or I've overshared. I've done that with I did that with Heather's narcissistic numpty neighbour. I overshared, and I was open and friendly and honest, what I consider to be honest, and I was actually oversharing. I shouldn't have done it, but you can learn from that, and you can say, right, okay, I tried to be decent, I tried to be reasonable, and they don't want to be reasonable or decent. Everything's about them. So you just have to take it from there, you know, and life can get, you know, things can get dangerous. It's like when you get pushed up against in a corner or whatever, you can lash out, you know. So, and people do that. So basically, what he was saying was, let me think about it. I'll get back to you on that. I'll give it a bit of thought. So it's just learning things like that. And I wasn't taught that by my parents. My parents didn't teach me anything. All we had to do, really, me and my brother and sister had been brought up, we were seriously abused, and my brother and sister do not, they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to accept it, and they see me as, well, I'm the scapegoat, yeah, definitely, yeah. They don't want to talk about it, and it's true, and when we were abused, and we were badly abused, and I certainly was, and it's, you know, I can't speak for them because I don't know what happened to them exactly, and it was because we had we had a narcissistic, my mother had a narcissistic personality disorder, yeah, amongst other things, and our father wasn't really able to deal with it. You know, sadly he wasn't. It's him there, you know, so he ran off offshore and got away from her. But he did his best, you know, he did a good job. It's not easy to deal with narcissists, you know. I don't know what attracted him to my mother, but if he wasn't attracted to her or whatever, or she picked him, whatever way around it went, which obviously she picked him, but if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't exist with her. So it's like you got to get, you know, it's really difficult getting your head around it all, you know. But it's certainly, yeah, they haven't. Well, my sister is incapable. Her head is, there's nothing in it really. There's nothing there, nothing to work on, sadly. So yeah, I just keep away from them. I keep away from them, and I haven't spoke to them for years. But I was trying to engage with my brother, but he doesn't really want to. He doesn't, like I say, he doesn't want to engage. He doesn't want to go there. So that's his business, and that's his choice. But it's also my choice. I can also talk about my experiences and my recovery, as so to speak, from it, from our upbringing, and you know, it's up to him if he wants to go away, fucking cycling or something, or climbing up, whatever he's doing. That's fine. He can deal with it that way, or not deal with it, whatever. Just go, it fucking doesn't matter. So it's, well, you know, it's a self-centered kind of approach he's got, but that's fine. That's up to him. So narcissistic. How to deal with narcissists? Well, try not to engage. Try not to overshare, and try not to engage. We all get it wrong, don't we? It can be quite lonely. So my circle is quite small. I don't really have many friends, or so to speak, and that's a sort of manifestation of rooting out these narcissistic numpties, because they're not going to change. And it's not that thing about, do they know they're narcissists? They don't care. I don't know if they do know. They don't care. If they did know, they wouldn't care, right? So they're dealing with their shit. So really, at the end of the day, it's about, why should you? You don't have to deal with their shit. You know, so that's what's happening, and you're accepting you're engaging in their dysfunction. And most of them are fucking pathetic anyway. You know, there's everybody's got problems, but they can make it look like they don't, but they do. You know, so anyway, so that's the firelighting session over. It turned into a narcissistic numpty session. We're not going to do a channel update because there's not really much happening. So I'm going to shut this down now. So what I'll do is I'll get a couple of them on. It needs to burn down a bit and turn it down. So that's that's a firelighting session. It's a firelighting session and how to deal with narcissistic numpties. Right, so thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye!